Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga, meditation, and Buddhist studies. Today is Tuesday, the first day of December 2015. And I'm just going to continue reading my Dhammapada translations, chapter 10. I believe we're in chapter 10, from verses from verse 129 to verses 129 through 145. All living beings fear attack. All living beings fear death. A man should therefore hold back and not attack living beings. Directly or indirectly, observing the common aspiration for life. Dhammapada Sutra. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, these sutras are the words of the Buddha, sort of summarizing Buddhist wisdom in a nutshell. 130, Dhammapada 130. All living beings fear attack. All living beings cherish life. A man should therefore hold back and not attack living beings, directly or indirectly, observing the common aspiration for life. Let's see, verse 131. A man who launches attack on sentient beings, living beings in pursuit of a good life, a life of joy and peace, just like he wants for himself, he achieves neither joy nor peace in the hereafter, that is, after the final departure. Verse 132. A man who launches no attack on sentient beings, living beings in pursuit of a good life, a life of joy and peace, just like he wants for himself, he achieves both joy and peace in the hereafter, that is, after the final departure. Verse 133. Fiery insolent words bring distress. Such words thrown back and forth will only result in injuries. A man should not talk rashly and insolently to the people. A man who talks rashly and insolently to the people will likewise talk rashly and insolently to him. Verse 134. Just like an old ruined gong which no longer sounds, when you free yourself, let go, and no longer trouble yourself, you have attained nirvana, that is, perfect peace. You have gone beyond, and all pains, all sufferings are now ended. Verse 135. Just like the herdsman hastens cows to their pasture, the processes of aging and passing away deprive living beings of valuable years. Verse 136. Just like a man is burnt by flames, the fool is penalized and harmed by his very offenses and erroneous actions. The stupid fool keeps on doing mischief and vicious deeds with hardly any awareness. Folks, these are my Dhammapada Sutra translations, which I did well over 10 years ago. Verses 137 to 140. The rash human who attacks innocent, tranquil, and decent humans surely approaches one of the following 10 impending calamities. The rash human who attacks innocent, tranquil, and decent humans surely approaches one of the following 10 impending calamities: bitter suffering, deadly crisis, bodily or material damages, chronic sickness, madness, dispute and feud with powers and eminent personalities, a scandal or libel, death of a loved one, grand larceny of material possessions, ruin, fiery ruin of personal residence or dwelling place, and when his material flesh ultimately perishes, The idiot is doomed to eternal damnation. This was verses 137 to 140. These verses were probably handed down this way to us from the Pali Canon. Sometimes we have double verses, sometimes we have triple verses, sometimes we have many verses, together. So we had 137, 138, 139, 140 from the Pali Canon all together. Then verse 141. If a man is skeptical, ever plagued by doubts, he cannot be cleansed of blemishes and the general pollutants of evil, even if he dwelled in filth, slept on bare earth, lived an ascetic life, practiced fasting every day, lived stark naked, lived with unkempt hair and beards, and sat daily, hour after hour, on his heels, meditating. Folks, verse 142. If a man is poised and placid, firm and sober on the right path, and self-controlled, virtuous and harmless to sentient beings in general, even if his appearance shows glamour, and affluence, he lives in holiness, a holy human, a Brahmin, a bhikkhu, a genuine monk. Verse 143. Where on earth is the human who is decent, fully controlled, thus keeping away from sloth, tardiness, procrastination, etc.? Just like a well-trained mule keeps away from lashes, that is, penalties. Verse 144. A man should be resolute, diligent, and zealous, just like a well-trained mule lashed with the string. If you are willing, you will succeed. Having confidence and trust in the divine, maintaining ethical standards, active in disposition, maintaining poise and tranquility, concentration and meditation, endowed with understanding and good memory, accomplished, of impeccable character, you will cast off these pains and distress. Concluding verse 145, I believe 145 is the last verse of chapter 10. Sea fighters and their warships direct through ocean waters. Fletchers produce arrows and spears. The woodworker labors diligently in his logs, and the virtuous cultivate and advance themselves. Folks, this is Dhammapada Sutra spoken by the Buddha. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, these sutras sort of summarize Buddhist wisdom. I call them Buddhist wisdom in a nutshell. There are 423. In total, 423 Dhammapadas, making this a very great sutra. And they are sort of short, succinct verses. And when you go through them and reflect and meditate through them, you find a lot of wisdom, a lot of enlightenment in them. As you contemplate and walk through them, if you find any challenges or you have difficulties, please feel free to contact me. My email address is c.aburime, aburime @hotmail.com. c.aburime@hotmail.com. Or Color College, color spelled British, COLOUR @hotmail.com. Folks, December started. Enjoy the rest of this is the last month of the year. So enjoy your December. I wish you a pleasant December and a pleasant week ahead. Namo Amitofo.